boom. You are now tuned in with Big Joe and Lil Joe. Y'all already know what time it is. Before we get started, if you ain't tuned in to my daddy podcast, go check out the podcast. It's called Doing Time with Joe. It's spelled D-O-I-N without the G. Time, T-I-M-E, just in case you can't spell. Not saying, I'm just saying. Doing Time with W-I-T-H, Joe, J-O-E, Google. But what's up, Pops?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man? Everything good out there? How y'all doing out there? Everybody that's listening, what's up?
I ain't I got a little situation you kind of been familiar with for a long time, and I really want to make this episode about being able to parent or friend or just a person that you can go and talk to, that understand without an unbiased, regardless of the relationship, they can hold you accountable as well as, encourage you. Because you got to be careful of people that you vent to and talk to if it don't come with accountability, if it don't come with some accountability, if it needs to be some accountability, and also some encouragement. Because in a situation, even if a person is in the wrong or whatever's going on, you don't want to tear that person down to the point you didn't uplift them as well. It's got to be balanced. Right. You got to let a person know, hey, but look, you know what I'm saying? And
boundaries.
Yeah, you like I've been in a situation, that it hasn't been a relationship, been somewhat of one. You know what I'm saying? It's been difficult, it's been crazy, it's been up and down. You know what I'm saying? You've heard me talk about, where I went wrong at, and then, still choose to dib and dab. It's just, here recently, Pops, this person has decided once again to take something to the internet and try to bash me and try to, dismantle what I've built and attack my character. And it was something we was just talking about, and we was talking about narcissism, and this person wanted to get into and try to say that I was narcissistic. I'm saying that I'll say this first. I may have narcissistic traits. I could probably be manipulative at times. Do I lie? Yes, I've told lies. Like I'll eat things that I've done that might have harmed this person or made this person feel some type of way, but the way they trying to attack me, Pops, ain't it ain't the business.
Okay, but let me hold up. I sense something in your voice. I need to stop you for a quick second and say this to you. First of all, you're not narcissistic at all. You feel what I'm saying? You care for real for people. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I know you do. Right. I know you. You know what I'm saying? I know you better than you know yourself, even though I was not there. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you're not there. So whenever somebody uses that type of terminology, you know what I'm saying, trying to describe somebody else, look, I'm all into positive and negative energy, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're using, it's different if a person is using, narcissism or anything like that to describe somebody, and it's on point, and they're trying to help that person see something. Mm-hmm. But when they're using that type of terminology to tear somebody down, that's negative energy. And whenever you're using negative energy to tear somebody down, then your intent is not right.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So if this person has the intent to hurt, to harm, to damage, you feel what I'm saying? Right. So don't you, now look, I know you haven't fed into that, but the way, something I just heard in your voice that I've heard in the past, when you say, you might not be buying into something, but a little bit of you listening to what that person's saying, and I want you to know from me to you, is that you are not that. Don't believe any of that. And continue to do and say and walk the way you've been walking.
Right.
Look, since you've been home, this is what I've known you to be. And I'm tooting your horn, but I need you to hear this because I need you to stand up.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying, metaphorically speaking. Since you've been home, you have helped so many different people, do so many different things, trying to encourage people to do things that you've done, that you've seen through trial and error that work. And you try to encourage them to do these things. Now, when you outgrow them or the situation that you're in, you move on. You try every opportunity, and you've been through this, you try every opportunity to take them with you.
Right.
Whatever situation you've been in, you have tried to take them with you. You have even offered to take one person, in my opinion. I remember that you said, look, we can do this together. I'll go buy a house in this other city, and we can do this together. And you still still found yourself in a situation where the person was lying and manipulating. You
Right.
feel me?
Right.
You'll have this blind spot because you care.
Right.
And the person that's a narcissist don't care, boo.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I just wanted you to hear that from me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know countless episodes or examples that I can give to show you that you are not that person. Don't
Right.
receive. You feel what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
Don't receive it. Go ahead now. I'm gonna stop and let you jump back on what you've gone. I just need to make sure you got that.
I appreciate that too. I appreciate that. What you heard was what you just described as the care. Not that I care about what was said. It's the attack from the person who know. So it's more so a person who was basically right next to me who would take assault and try to do that on the basis of what you just said. Everything that I did do. We're just talking about, because people, I know you said a while ago, narcissists don't care. This is a person who's seen me care. This is a person who has said to me, I've had nobody in my life care to the extent you care. Show me what you showed me to the extent you showed me. Taught me what you taught me to the extent that you taught me. But the minute that it's not going in your way or your favor, or you feel like you about to lose me, you choose. So that's what you heard, and that's painful. It's the same thing with being in the streets. When I hang around my homeboys all of my life, and then something happened, and then I get to see, like my mama always told me, they really ain't your friend. Like that's painful.
Yeah.
The betrayal is painful more than the accusation. So because when I'm saying. That's why I was saying I could have this right. Like I was reliving it while I was talking of how much was poured into this situation on both ends, not just mine. And then you look at, because even when you said you want to take people, you try to fix things and patch things up, and it don't go that way. And that's just painful in general. Going back again, like. Where I'm at now, what most people would equate to success, I can't share with nobody that I grew up with. You know, they just not here. So, and that's painful because I lived a life with these people. I was around this person for 365 days and did everything in my power. I'm speaking for me, not speaking one-sided. I'm speaking on my side. I've done everything in my power, and still. There was always over and over and over and over and over. It looked like it's all right. Come to find out, it's not all right. It looked like some truth. It looked like you're trying to be honest. And come to find out, you're still not being honest. So, and then at this point, having to look at it and see it's a tie that has to be severed. That if it was a solid foundation, could have been a beautiful friendship or whatever it would have flourished into.
Absolutely.
So that's the pain of it. And then, like I said, watching the person take the assault with malicious intent, with no intent to, you know what I'm saying, try to encourage, none of that. No intent of that. You trying to dismantle.
Hurt. They're just trying to hurt. But here's the thing, man. This is something that I do, right? In any situation I find myself in, and I find myself in plenty stupid ones because I do stupid stuff from time to time. We all do. You know what I mean? But I try to learn from them. The first thing I ask myself, boy, this is no joke these days. I ask myself, what role did I play in this? I'm not even looking at the other person. I'm looking at myself. Did I miss something?
Right.
Did I have a blind spot?
Right.
Because people typically, even the best of con artists, right? People typically are not able to hide who they are for long. Right. It's flashes. They show you themselves in flashes. But when we get all glossed over, whether it be in business or relationship-wise, we're focused on what we're trying to focus on. See, when we get focused, when people like me and you get focused on stuff, it's a laser focus, right? And then something else could be going on in our peripheral. We'll be like, I ain't gonna worry about that because we're real good at compartmentalizing stuff. You feel me? And then we'll say, I'm not gonna let that distract me. We're gonna keep moving forward, right? But at the same time, a lot of the things that we might see in our periphery are those warning signs that we need to be paying attention to.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And we'll still try to, because whatever we were focused on, it might work out so well, and this person might have been involved but not had anything to do with the success, but been involved while it was going on. You understand the distinction?
Right,
So
yeah.
when we look at that, we'll be like, okay, well, that'll work itself out, blah, 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 this and that. Not knowing that the second thing I always focus on is I never underestimate the next person's greed, jealousy, envy, and all of that kind of stuff, right? This person that might be seeing you that you see in your periphery that might showing you these signs is looking at you and saying, why can't I?
Right.
Why can't I?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when they start to compare and say, well, he went to prison. He got out. He's doing this.
Right.
He's doing that. If he can do it, I should be able to do it. Well, that's true.
Right.
You can. If you
Right.
put in the work.
Right.
But see, a lot of people see your success, but they don't see the work, the process that it took to get there.
Right.
I remember talking to you several times where you say, I need some more help on this. I wish the family would do that. I wish my friends would do this and all that. But that was your process of getting to the point where you knew you had to get in the mix of it. You had to do it.
Right.
But that was your process of getting there. And once you started to do that, and you be like, man, I ain't gonna be waiting on nobody to help me. If I ain't got no help, then I'm gonna learn how to do it myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You went through all of that, and you learned what you needed to do what you want to do.
Right.
And a lot of people, man, that you've met, man, don't get me wrong, man, because whenever you might be out and about and you done met somebody, you'll be like, I'm talking to my pops, and then you'll let them holler at me, this is that. And I don't really have, too much bad to say about anybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, oh, they cool, they straight, they this, they that. But, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, it's okay, we're going to see what this do and all this and that, right? But at the end of the day, I really try to put them to the side and say, what role did you play, and did you underestimate what they might have been thinking in their minds about success?
Yeah.
And when you focus on that, you can say to yourself, okay, if I miss this, then fine.
Yeah.
I'll work on that in the next phase of my life.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Which would be the next minute in your life. And then you just move forward, man. People like that. Don't get me wrong. People like that are hurting.
Yeah.
They don't want to acknowledge the hurt. See, that's why I stay focused on that. That hurt, man. And I know it's cliches, but hurt people hurt people.
Right.
And when they want to be attached to somebody that gives them comfort, whatever way that is, that gives them inspiration and hope, they don't want to let that go under any circumstances. So what they'll do, if they can't have it in a peaceful way, well, trust me, they'll have it in a toxic way.
Right.
Just like being in an abusive relationship. They want any piece of you. They don't care how they get it. Just give me a piece of it. You feel what I'm saying? And if they got to hurt you to get attention from you, they're going to do that.
Right.
The worst thing that you can do a person like that is walk away clean, cut ties like you cut your fingernails off.
Of course.
Keep it moving.
And
wish them the best.
Yeah.
And move on.
Yeah. And that's really where I'm at with it, man. And because like we've had so many conversations about this situation. You've heard me talk about how great this person is. You've heard me talk about how You've heard me talk about how I don't trust this person. You've heard me.
Yes, you have. Yes.
You've heard me say things to you that the internet will never hear, and you gave me advice about, hey, you might need to, or hey, you might, and still, you allow me to go through the process. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's, and that's what people. That's really why I'm at with it. Like, I went through the process of trying, forgiving, making excuses, being in denial, everything that you can think of when you're in a situation. I'm human. And that's what I'm watching people who take the human out of situations. Like they've never made these kinds of mistakes or never been through situations where it was similar. Like I asked the women on the live, I said, you've been with a dude you've caught lying, you've caught cheating, you did this, and you didn't sever the tie right off the back because of the emotional tie. And you still try to sort it out, and you still make excuses for this and that, and you try to hang on and hope this change and hope this work out, because you can see the potential of a friendship or a relationship or whatever it may be. And so when all that's going on, I see a lot of people, why didn't you? Same reason most humans. You know what I'm saying? The excuses I made, the emotional tie, and it's just so weird that it's not. It's not weird because I do social media. I understand social media. It's interesting to watch.
Yes, it's very interesting.
And this is what I told him, Daddy. I said, it's very interesting because you can see other people who are hurting by what they agree with without understanding something. You can see other people's bitterness by what they associate themselves with on the internet and how they are so intrigued. You can see the value of a lot of people and by what they get entertained by and how they get consumed in it because I'm just giving my opinion. You're trying to deflect away from something that you may be dealing with. So the minute you see something that can keep the attention off of you and what you dealing with, your relationship, your job, your kid, whatever, you see some what they call the tea, you eat it up and you don't care. And like you said, hurt people. You don't have for some reason, you don't have the ability or the decency to say, hold on, wait a minute, to step back. The internet, we talk about children and bullying all the time. Somebody on the internet with a platform, and I have a platform, I've done certain things, you know what I'm saying, where you can get on there and you can say something, and these people will go off. And at this time, though, I sit and I looked at some of the comments and I said, these are majority women who are agreeing and going with what's being said and have absolutely no idea. So I said, I'm not going to make a post. I said, I'll get on my live and answer some questions. I said, but what I'm seeing is, how do I turn this into, what are you hurting from that makes you jump in this comment section of somebody you see hurting, not try to give advice, not try to encourage, not try to uplift, but add fuel? What makes you do that and then take aim at the other person you've never met, never talked to? What do you think that is in people's mind, people's heart and spirit that draws them into that type of activity?
Oh, that's easy right there. That is easier to focus on somebody else's pain than focus on your own. It's easier to shoot somebody else down than to lift somebody else. They totally relate to what the individual might be saying. They totally relate to the aspect of you not leaving when you should have, and all this and that, in their opinion.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? They totally relate to it, but it takes work to say, okay, this is not a situation where you want to tear somebody down. It's the one you want to build somebody up. But see, that's not what they got when they went through it. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
They got tore down. So if that's the experience that they had. So that's what they can only bring to the table. They don't know how to lift up in a situation like that. They know how to tear down because that's what they experience. We are a product of our experiences, and that's what you got right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it takes hard work. It takes hard work when you haven't had an example in the moment of being somebody that tear somebody down. It takes hard work to say, wait a minute, this, I didn't like it. It didn't feel good to me. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would have said this and that. So it takes hard work for you to stand up and say, now, wait a minute, I'm going to go against every part of my body that's telling me to do negative, and I'm going to do positive.
Right.
And it takes a lot of work, man. And you got to be on a certain mental level to be able to do that. And most people, man, the truth of the matter is, you know, they got a lot going on in their lives, and they really don't have time to focus on the growth that's going to make them a better human being. They're kind of like stuck in the mud, and that's how they respond to not just your situation, but our situation.
And it's
negative.
It's so crazy. Like, I heard a guy. Matter of fact, I was at Turner Center. We was sitting. I was painting. I was on the paint crew, and we was sitting on the back dock because we was painting the cafeteria at the time. And they was bringing in other wardens from all over the country in the prison.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there having a conversation, and as we was talking, I heard a guy say, a man can take care of his family, have a great career job, educated, be a philanthropist, he could be involved in the church, a community activist. He could do all of these things. And I remember this guy saying, he can rob a bank. He can go through a bind, rob a bank, and they'll remember him as the bank robber. That's it.
Absolutely.
And when
Absolutely. I remember that. I remember something like that similar when I was in the Marine Corps. Not to cut you off. When I was in the Marine Corps, we were out in the field for 7 days, right?
mm-hmm,
So I was the CG's driver, right? The Commanding General's driver at this particular time, right? That's basically I just drove him around and all this thing. We were playing war games. So anyway, he told me to go by his house. I get to leave the field. He said, go by my house, pick up me a change of clothes, blah blah blah. This is this, and come straight back. I said, no problem, I got you. But guess what happened? On the way to his house, it passed his mind where we were living at, right?
mm-hmm.
You were a child, you don't remember this, right? So I stopped, took a shower, ate a nice meal, you know what I'm saying, all this and that. Went and got his stuff and went back to the field. When I got back into the field, I'm not thinking because I'm young and stupid too. Dang, I smell like Irish Spring. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Everybody else in the field smelling like dirt.
Yeah.
So the sergeant major told me, he said, Baker, all these days you've been out, you've been doing a good job. But we're not going to remember that. We're going to remember this day right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the 1 of 5. He said, now what you going to do about it? That's what I say to you. What you going to do about it?
See, and that's good because it ain't affected me on that level because, like you said in the beginning, I know exactly who I am. I know who I was called to be, and I understand the journey I'm on. When you said what I'm gonna do about it, I made that up. I made that decision as soon as the post was made to try to crucify me. I'll turn this into what I always turn it into, an educational moment for myself and for other people.
Absolutely.
To say, now, let's take a deeper look at this because the shoe can be on the other foot at any given time. Or you've been in this situation. How did you handle it? How do we handle it as humans when it happened? What is the response? That's why I was asking. That's why I was saying in the beginning, like we need people that we can talk to that'll hold us accountable and also encourage us. That's why we on this phone call. My phone. I'm gonna do a post about this, and it's gonna be a marketing strategy to get people to come and listen to this, so we can see that I don't have to return fight. I don't fight evil with evil. That ain't what I am. That ain't what I do. I don't respond. You don't respond to what's clearly a hateful moment with hate. I don't go lower when a person has lowballed me. You know, I'm trying to give people an opportunity to see. I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I know where I went wrong.
Yeah.
How can we all take a closer look at everything and say, okay, you know what I'm saying? That's really where I'm at with it, because you know what I'm saying? Like I told you a while ago, I was like, people on the internet, like in 30 days, this gonna be gone as if it never happened before.
On to the next one.
Exactly, because people's attention span is so short. It won't be it won't be that. It'll be another story about a celebrity or some social media influencer, and they'll ride that wave. So I'm saying, but I'm good there. I just wanted to get on here, and I wanted people to hear.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'm great. Listen, the first thing I said on my live I said, I woke up at 7:30 feeling a whole lot lighter. You know what I'm saying? I woke up feeling a whole lot lighter. But I also want.
Like I said, the universe. Look here, let me say 2 quick things, right? The universe it turns people like a ship. It takes time. You can't whip a ship real fast. You do it and flip over the ocean, right? So it takes time. All of these things have to happen because you're being molded for the next issue that you're going to face. Simple as that, right? And a true leader, somebody that's looked at as a leader in the community, somebody that's looked at that people value their advice and their opinion about things. You don't have the privilege. And listen to what I'm saying. You don't have the privilege to shoot back negative. That's what people that don't understand themselves do. You feel what I'm saying? That's what people that don't understand that they're hurting and whatnot. That's what they do. You know better.
Right.
You know better, so you do better. When you respond in a way that you're going to be helping somebody learn from your experience. You feel what I'm saying? And as you do that, the next person is going to learn that, and the more people that learn that, we'll start to do that. And there are going to always be negative moments, right? Because you're going to always have people out there that's hurting.
Right.
But it's our job, it's our responsibility to not take those situations to continue to perpetuate and spread hate and hurt.
Right.
It's our responsibility to do what? Help, uplift. You may not be able to help that person directly. You see what I'm saying? Cut ties, keep it moving. But from a distance, that person will look back one day. Because I remember some of the people that you dealt with in the past, they hit you up later on and say, man, I get what you were saying now. I appreciate what you did. You stood in the gap when it didn't seem like, you know what I'm saying, it's going to work out. But they all hit you up later on and say, man, I appreciate what you did for me. And you're going to end up in the same situation with this. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You're going to end up in the situation. Because you got to be people where they're at.
Right.
And they're not where you're at mentally, man. And that's not an indictment against them. It's just a fact.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Always uplift. Always uplift.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Like I said, man, if y'all ain't tuned into my daily podcast, go to it. It's Doing Time with Joe. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna drag this conversation out any longer. I think, you know what I'm saying? I think we pretty much hit it, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna leave it right there at that, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I wanted people to hear our conversation is more than, you know what I'm saying, us picking. Like, I have a genuine, real relationship to where I can go to my pops and talk to him about anything. I wanted people to see that too. I wanted people to see, you know, it's no levels, it's no restriction on what I can go and talk to my pops about, and I'm gonna get both ends of it. And like I said in the beginning, I encourage people to have those type of people in their life, whether it be a parent, a friend, or a co-worker, whatever. Have people that can balance you, hold you accountable, and encourage you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's about at the end of the day, because we all have flaws, we've all made mistakes, but we don't want to stay in the mindset of continuing to just tear down, because that's the pressure of the world. Like my pops was saying, it's deflecting from your own pain. So I need you to hold me accountable and uplift me, because we're trying to push out the hatred. We're trying to push out the insecurities, the low self-esteem. We're not trying to compound it. We're not trying to do what the enemy is trying to do on his assignment, and that's to tear down something or someone that can have a great life and be a great whatever to other people. And when you do that, it's too many people alive right now who have been tore down to the point of where their value has been whatever, to the point of where they're not
stripped away.
It's been stripped away, and they not who they say they are. And I mean, they not who they were designed to be because of that. So that's really why I want to get on here and do that, man. Pops, you got anything you want to say real quick?
Hey, look, I echo everything that you just said, man, and I would hope that people out there just remember this. When you're going through something, remember, let that be a lesson to you and others. Use that. If you deal with social media, you get on there and share your stories. You don't have to have the type of following that my son has, but when you get on there and you share a story about somebody that's done you wrong, look for the gems in that. Look for the lessons in that, because they're there. They're hard to find when you're hurting, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to wipe the tears.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I wanted to say. That's all I wanted to say, man. And I love you, man, and I love y'all, everybody out there. Thanks for the support.
You say you finna go to work, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go to work.
This video will be up, so y'all don't have to ask. It's gonna be having a conversation with Pops dealing with relationships.
That's what's up. All right, dude. I love you, man. I'm gonna hit you back later, okay?
I love you too. Man, y'all be blessed. Y'all hold it down, man. Y'all already know what it is. Big Joe, Little Joe.